the limit because they can pick off one of the champions that they won't be banning. Jax is a top lane ban, so they aren't looking to pinch the support pool of Yu here.
Yeah, because Thundertalk can actually just pick up the Galio right here, right now after banning Phase, denying the Camille Galio combination of KBG if ever. But looks like KBG is just gonna do it for them right now, removing that champion as well, forcing either a Nautilus or something like a set Rakan, depending on which one is gonna be the preference here of Thundertalk. It looks like they are just gonna be picking a blind Baron laner for the meantime, Renekton to match up with the potential Camille of KG.
Yeah. So far we have been seeing as well when it's an Ezreal and Galio being on the same bot lane. What happens is they get early shove level 1 and then they're able to challenge Krug. So, this could just very well be the tack special where it's a Mumu hover. This could be Chen Z going for a hover because we weren't able to say this earlier, but we did have a sub. It's no longer SMY in the bot lane. It's Chen Z and it's gonna be the Sona.
It's the second Sona of the tournament. Let's see if Thundertalk can do the same thing that EDG was able to do against G2 Blacklist. This is a bold move for sure, because during the time that we last saw the Sona being picked up, it was for the synergy of Sustain and also for mobility on both the Hecarim alongside with the Severe. But this time, both champions are not here for Thundertalk. Let's see if this is going to be enough Sustain to cancel the burst of Andran as well.
Yeah, it's also going to be a very strong poke comp in the bot lane. This is the classic. It's such a classic combo as well. Sona and Ezreal goes way back, especially if you're a League of Legends PC player. It goes way back to Season 1, Season 2, Season 3. When you hit the crescendo and then couple it with the True Shot Barrage, a very strong and all-in tool in the bot side, non-committal as well, since it's very much a range engage or range type of thing for the bot side. But it is an Alistar, if I remember correctly, for the side. Sorry, it's a Nautilus for the side of KBG. So the main weakness of a Sona is engage supports, and she can very well get bursted down early on. So Thundertalk needs to play this bot lane a bit safely for them to prevent giving away a first blood willy-nilly to the bot lane of KBG.
Man, this is such a big risk, to be honest, for Thundertalk, because we do see that other champions are still available, like a set, like a Rakan for Thundertalk. But after seeing the Sona be introduced last time by EDG, looks like they want to get their hands on it as well. The new revamped Sona definitely can be very helpful. Just the auto attack stun can be quite tilting, honestly. Especially if Andran gets caught before he uses a shroud. That's how risky this situation can be for KBG, but so can be for Thundertalk, especially with the lack of frontline this time around. Since usually the supports are tanks, this time it's just a utility support.
Yeah, it's an enchanter in the bot side, but that is one of the reworks, right, on Sona. She has been revamped here in this patch. She does have a stacking passive now, where she's able to get a stun off from her auto attacks as long as she casts her abilities. Her ult is also changed. They've reduced just the cooldowns on that, but the ton early game.
Wow, that's just immense presence and pressure by KBG after just knowing that this is a very squishy bottom lane. But take note, the damage is going to be much more amplified, of course, especially through the pokes, like what you mentioned, just because of this. And just a little bit of information, okay? We do see that Thundertalk did sub out their support SMY with Chen Z right now. Yeah.
It's a different support player. Might be the one who has been practicing the Sona in their scrims before they got here. But also to mention that the Ton was also forced to use the flash as he was trying to get the Scuttle. Scuttle did go to the side of Thundertalk, so both Scuttles right now has gone to the side of Thundertalk. Not for the jungler though. So it has gone to the laners. A bit more gold infusion as well as experience going for the laners of Thundertalk. But going back, Sona is going to be really good, but Shin, this is a very long trade right now we're seeing between them and KG.
Yeah, and Shen definitely is having a bit of a hard time this time around against Camille. Does have some sort of sustain, especially with the first kill, the Renekton, but it's too risky. It's much better for KG, especially with the tactical sweep, and he has to be a lot more careful. Cannot give any kill towards this Camille, or else it's gonna spell out trouble, especially that the Renekton does fall off towards the late game, compared to the Camille that just keeps on amplifying the scaling even better for KBG. Now the group up in the bottom lane will be spotted by a ward. But I mean, the main goal here of Thunder Talk is to outpower them, but they will actually turn Assault and Battery, and after the Knight gonna be breaching the back line, still is able to disengage. Thunder Talk will be fine.
Yeah, Thunder Talk is fine. They didn't incur any casualties, as well as KBG, but that was scary. The possible dive coming in from Thunder Talk. 4 members matching up against Yuyu and Xiaoma. Oh, a lot of damage as well in that True Shot barrage. This could very well be another angle for Thunder Talk to have a bit more of maybe a kill, but it's not gonna happen. But going back as well, that was a bit of a rinse and repeat from Thunder Talk. This is what they did as well in game 1, going for a 4-man threat on the bot side. And kudos to KBG. Their bot lane immediately backed off as soon as they saw the Scryer's Boom being popped, giving a lot of respect towards the whole of Thunder Talk.
This again going to be quite challenging for KBG. And we see the amount of respect that they are giving towards Thunder Talk. After engaging, when they saw the comeback potential in the fight, to quickly disengage. This time, we see KG disengaging after spotting out X-By, helping out Khan as well. Just gonna be showing his presence, but not really too much engaging. They have to be very careful as well, because he's on his way towards top lane, just in case that KBG does commit on a fight.
Yeah, KBG had a lot of discipline as well. As soon as they ulted Shin, and Shin started walking back, they kind of have the inkling that X-By might be in the area, so they didn't immediately jump on the Crocodile. As soon as they saw the accelerated gate being casted there, they just walked back immediately. So KBG right now on their toes, having clear presence of mind that Thunder Talk, even though they showed themselves as easy prey, they're not exactly that. They bite back hard and they're able to turn things around. And right now, Thunder Talk, as it stands, even though there hasn't been a lot of big action on the map, they're already commanding a 1k gold lead against KBG.
Thunder Talk definitely is getting more resources, despite the attempted pressure coming in, especially from Andran and Datan. You have to be very careful though. Barrage can be used. Xiaoma getting hit by it as well. Shock Blast though is dodged, so it's fine. That's how much Thunder Talk can actually throw towards KBG every time. And that's how risky it is to battle against Thunder Talk, especially the amount of constant pressure that they try to give towards their opponents to force them to make a mistake. KBG though so far is not making any. They are able to get this dragon for themselves to equalize the amount of resources that Thunder Talk is going to be going. Top lane though, this might be a dive. Yuyu already using some of his abilities, trying to pin down. Shin is still going to be able to pop in the Dominus. That's a crescendo, still enough to get the kill towards KG, and they will get first blood instead. And breaching the back line this time around. Chansey is going to be in a bit of a trouble. So X-By answering back. Unable to get the kill though.
Yeah, they took too long to do the dive right there at the top side. Look at this replay right here. It took them about 10 to 15 seconds to even try anything here, and they didn't have enough damage. X-By and Shin are the only ones really dealing the damage here. The Sona just a tool to have the ultimate down, to be able to stun members with the crescendo. So I think it's a bit of a misplay right there coming from Thunder Talk. We can still see some of the practice that they still need on this Sona, not expecting that she's not going to deal as much damage as they hope she would.
Yeah, and it would have been better, honestly, if Foil was also there to help out with the damage, because X-By wasn't able to deal the damage necessary to chip down the HP of KG. Also, it was a great interruption coming in from KBG, particularly Yuyu, to prevent Shin from actually engaging. He popped in the Dominus to disengage when they actually was calling off the back, but wasn't able to escape, was pinned down with the Hexic Ultimatum. KBG, despite being down a little bit still in gold, is still able to get something out of Thunder Talk.
Yeah, they also have positional advantage right now here in the top side. There's 4 members of them, so they'll be sure to get this turret. The Herald hasn't been dropped anywhere yet by Thunder Talk, so first turret is going to go into favor of KBG because of top, unless the bot side, will they be the ones to break this tower first? We'll see. Yeah, they are the ones who are able to break that tower first.
Yeah, 3 members invested take this tower down to equalize the amount of structures that KBG is attempting to make and have one up towards them as well. Thundertalk doing a really good job in the macro. In micro, we saw some mistakes happening, especially in the top lane as a first one so far here in this series. KBG have been adapting really well. Just looking for opportunities, looking for ways that they can pin down Thundertalk. Can see. Going forward, Yu might actually get caught, forced to use a flash just to disengage. Still is fine.
Yeah. True shot barrage as well. Spell shielded right there by Shalma. Actually, the Herald was actually spawned earlier in the mid lane, so Thundertalk already got a first hurt earlier on in this game. But yeah, right now, I also want to mention that for Soil on this Ezreal, this is the second time we've seen him using this champion in this series, and he always uses the True Shot Barrage almost on cooldown. Always uses it as a poke tool. Doesn't reserve it for last hits. He uses it. We see some teams or poke, right? Yeah, he uses it for poke. We see some teams use it for wave management. To when there's a wave on the other side, it's for wave management, cleaning the wave a bit so that it gives more gold for the Ezreal. But for Soil, he uses it as a damage tool. Just see right there again. He gets it on cooldown, immediately uses it, and it's not even a cooldown that the other team, or rather KBG, can take advantage of, because he just keeps hitting these monsters, these minions with his mystic shots, and it always goes on cooldown so fast.
Yeah, and that also gives him information on where KBG is going, because True Shot Barrage does provide some vision, especially when it hits someone. And we saw it earlier hitting Yu and also Xiaomer, right? And that kind of gave them information that KBG is grouping up towards the bottom lane. We saw them immediately running towards top lane in an attempt to pin down Andran. Luckily for KBG, they were able to get the better lead as well, able to adjust, and Andran was able to fall back, even not getting hit by the shock blast there of X-Spy.
Yeah. Now we're seeing a bit of a slower play. Both of these teams, not really much action. And as you mentioned earlier, right, for KBG, this seems like a better state of affairs for them because it's a bit slower. They can get into the game. They can scale more with the Sivir as well as the Akali. If it gets later on, she's gonna deal so much more damage, and she's gonna be able to wreck through both the Jace and the Ezreal. But one thing that I also want to mention is this variable that is very invisible towards Thundertalk, and it's their ability to win fights in the mid game. Even though you're slightly ahead, or even Thundertalk has just this ability to win fights, and we might just be seeing that here in this possible Infernal Drake fight.
Especially with the amount of damage that they actually have, right? In crowd control as well, to set up as a counter possibly towards KBG. So Andran needs to be very careful. Looks like Thundertalk is really setting their eyes on him as well. This is very reminiscent of the last fight earlier in game number 1. Soil gonna be casting True Shot Barrage, able to still deal the damage. KBG now on Soul Point is gonna be the most important thing for KBG.
A massive respect right there coming from Thundertalk. They didn't force the issue when they weren't able to hit their poke against KBG. They just said, nope, we're not going to commit to that. We're just going to try to go for the True Shot Barrage steal. And fortunately enough for both of these teams, none of them having a lot of casualties. No casualties, honestly, from both of these teams. And just Dragon Soul Point right now for KBG. This is going to give a timer to Thundertalk. This is going to force them into a bad spot. Possibly a bad spot later on if KBG is the one to be able to force the fight. If they're able to pick up the squishy targets on Thundertalk, then they very well just might be able to win these fights.
I mean, Thundertalk recognizes that they easily can be bursted out here by KBG. They don't have any single tank in this composition. At most, the tankiest member is gonna be Shin. Maybe a little bit towards Z just because of the sustain and the heals coming in from Chensi. But either way, there's no proper frontline on the side of Thundertalk. And KBG knows that as well. They have 2, honestly, possibly even 3 that can sustain. So it's much more difficult for Thundertalk to burst KBG than KBG bursting Thundertalk.
Yeah, definitely. So it's gonna be that push and pull, right, between these two teams. Who will give out first? Who will be the one to give that space, that opening for the other team to come in and win the fight? For Thundertalk, as we were mentioning, they do have a lot of damage, but they are very squishy. So what they need to do is find a pick-off against KBG, or absorb a fight, wait for KBG to use their ultimates, to use their tools for engage, and then Thundertalk can bounce back to throw the damage at them. Baron is Okay, I thought Baron was gonna be Foresight or KBG. That would have been a bad idea.
Bad idea.
Because they
against Poke.
Yeah, against double Poke champions from Thunder Talk. That was a very scary Vault Breaker from the Ton. But fortunately, they didn't start that. Thunder Talk also kind of caught win. Kind of also thought, wait a minute, that's not a play. That shouldn't be. That shouldn't be what KBG would do. And yeah, that is specifically what KBG wouldn't do. So now we're gonna go back to a slower pace. It's still 1k gold. They're still playing around that 1k, 1.5k gold lead for Thunder Talk, but no big advantage. This is just gonna go to a very big fight, and one of these teams, after they win that fight, they might just be able to win the game off of that.
I mean, the most strategic thing that KBG can decide to do is wait for the last dragon, because they have the best winning condition towards it as well. If they secure the soul, then they can pressure Thunder Talk even more. They will be more buffed up as well, especially with the shield that it will be providing, since it is going to be a Mountain Souls. Yuyu's going to be going in though, gets caught with Jin. The damage, the burst is going to be there. The sustain as well from Thunder Talk will be allowing them to now deal the damage. Hexacle Ultimatum going to be used onto Soul, but not really too much pressure being felt here by Soil as well. Meter Enchant unfelt by Thunder Talk, and with Yuyu down, Thunder Talk is just going to go towards straight to the Baron.
Yeah, Yuyu got a bit too impatient. For KBG's taste right there. Got immediately bursted down by the members of Thunder Talk, and it's gonna be the Baron being given up here. And this just could very well be the swing that Thunder Talk needs, that Thunder Talk is waiting for. Now a Poke comp having a Baron buff, that is a very dangerous proposition. And I think Yuyu thought he could get a pick off. They had a position to be able to catch the members of Thunder Talk, not realizing that all 5 members from Thunder Talk were in the area. And Baron buff as well as the Dragon coming up soon with a double Poke composition. That is seriously a bad spot for KBG.
Plus X-Buy had the Edge of Night as well, so it cancelled one of the crowd controls of Yuyu. Everything kind of fell apart for KBG. That moment, they had no reason to actually engage. They could have patiently waited for the Dragon and then engaging. They would have been buffed up enough to take on Thunder Talk. But now everything is in shambles. Baron has been taken here by Thunder Talk and now pushing into the mid lane. Shin is having more confidence right now with Z actually split pushing in the bottom lane, waiting for the next dragon. Now it's spawned up and Thunder Talk can also deny. It's everything right now going towards Thunder Talk and everything being shattered towards KBG.
Yeah, the only thing that KBG did to do there was wait for it. They had to wait for it until Thunder Talk showed an opening, until they were able to fire their shot, but instead they missed their shot right there. KBG right now on the back foot. Dragon has been taken by Thunder Talk. They missed the opening for the Dragon Soul. If Yuyu didn't go for that engage, they might have been in a position to fight Thunder Talk toe to toe in the Dragon Pit to be able to get the Dragon Soul, but instead they put themselves in this. It's a bit of a hole right now for KBG. It's still not all things are not lost for them. They can still take this game back. They can still fight it out. They still have the Sivir. When her ricochet, when her boomerangs bounce around the members of Thunder Talk, it's gonna deal so much damage because they don't really have a main tank. And still a lot of things that can go right here for KBG, but it just feels like Thunder Talk has broken the dam that was KBG in the first 12 minutes.
Everything that KBG was preparing for and was so excited for was already gone and taken by Thunder Talk instead. And we talked, Crazy Apple, we talked about the small things a while ago in game number 1. Again, just one small thing could have been the difference here between this game, and that's in the timing of the engage of KBG. If they were patient enough to just get the Dragon first, then it could have been a different story this time around. Now Thunder Talk is having more and more confidence in the scaling department because they basically denied the best scaling objective from KBG.
Now it's gonna be on Thunder Talk. Thunder Talk will just have to wait for KBG to come to them. It might be Daton. Actually, Daton's just having a free reign right now, just clearing vision here in the Baron buff area. Baron buff still gonna be up for a couple more seconds. Elder Drake about to spawn as well. Something that Thunder Talk would love to get their hands on. If they're able to get both of these objectives, they might just be able to close out this series with a clean 2-0.
I mean, that's a goal. And they have the highest potential this time around as well, after denying so many from KBG, but everything's not over just yet. KBG can still bounce back. Baron's gonna be available this time around. Elder Dragon as well in a short while. Thundertalk can start either of the two later on, but they're also at a risk of being bursted out by KBG. We should always keep that in mind. Crescendo gonna be used into the back line. No follow-up just yet. They just use it for the tower.
Yeah, they use it for the tower, getting the second tier turret in the mid lane that opens up the jungle, the whole jungle of KBG, to be able to be invaded here by Thundertalk. This might just limit the amount of territory and resources that KBG can have on the map. This will also limit their movements as the Baron and Elder Drake are about to spawn. I believe the pings are for Thundertalk to start this this Baron. They're in full vision of KBG. KBG can very well run for this, but no! It's gone!
They go towards the Elder Dragon. They're willing to risk it. They're willing to give the Baron in order to get this Elder Dragon to Barrage. Is going to be hitting some of the members. Half HP, 5,000. Z is going to go in with the Ties of Blood. Also, the Hemo play Crescendo as well, doing the damage. The Thought is going to be able to get the Elder Dragon, but at what cost? Thundertalk has gotten towards their head. It's just pinning off everybody from KBG. It's a disaster for KBG right now. And Thundertalk is just loving it right now. Shadow's going to get caught. Cancel on the Rico, but does have the Elder Dragon, can still deal the damage here towards Shin. And now the mid lane is going to be pushed here by Thundertalk. They want to end this game. They want to end this series right here, right now, and get their revenge. Finally on to Keep Best Gaming. Has been a season since they've last had their win series against KBG. They lost the last time they met, but this time it will change. Thundertalk gets the revenge against Keep Best Gaming with the 2-0.
Thundertalk completes the mission, takes revenge on KBG, and able to secure their spot as the top dogs in the Wild Rift League Asia Season 2. Still maintaining only one loss in terms of matches, and Thundertalk, what a statement game on Game 2. Able to punish that one crucial mistake coming from KBG. If that mistake happened in a different game, it wouldn't be as big, but the thing was, it still coincides